hand and struck any boy with it who came too close to him, and shouted orders to them, and whatever they found, they brought him half. As it was with his father, so it was with Ladon's son. Each boy fought to bring him more than any other boy, and he hardly had to lift his hand to get what he wanted. Now the sun was up. Her kind and giving light lay over the land of the people, the broad, uneven ground that lay between the forest on the east and the broken hills to the west. This was female land, lying wide and rich under the grass, not flat, but given to swollen, low hills rising gently into the sun, and swales and soft subsiding places where the sun reached only at midday. The pines and piney shrubs that had once covered all this ground now were giving way, as the climate grew drier, as the marshes filled in, to open grassland where the soil lay over stubborn chalk, to oaks and ash where the land was more hospitable to deep-rooted trees. But to the people, these were changes so slow and friendly that they remarked them only in stories. In the sunlight, the women left the longhouses and climbed up the slope toward the gardens. It was now midsummer, a little past the great gathering, and in the irregular patches that the women worked, the crops stood tall and green. Barley with heavy heads, and vetch that they staked up so that the mice would not eat the developing pods, and onions bulging out of the soil. The women carried their tools with them, picks of deer antler, rakes of wood with flint teeth, hoes made of shell. The little children carried the baskets. From the forest's edge, Ladon's son could look out and see all this industry as if from above. He did not look for his mother among the bowing forms in the gardens. He was half a man already and uninterested in low labour. Instead, he led his band in a straggle along the margin of the forest, looking half the while for berries, and the other half for Moloquin. The other boys knew what to do. They charged here and there to reach a clump of brambles first and pick the ripe fruit, and some even ventured a little into the forest, giving brave yells and stamping their feet on the ground, looking here and there for their enemy. Ladon's son strolled along, eating a handful of fruit. It was past the time for the little red berries called mother's kisses. Too soon still for the fat, purple, thorny ones called bear blood drops. And he grimaced over the sour stuff he had been given and cast them down. The next boy who dared bring him green fruit, he would thump with his stick. Then, "Moloquin! Moloquin!" He sprang high into the air at the shout. Ahead of him, where the oak trees pressed in upon the brow of a hill, the boys were racing toward a small spring marked by thickets, and as they ran, they yelled. Many of them brandished sticks. Ladon's son broke into a gallop after them. He yelled with them. He waved his stick over his head. All converged on the thicket. Just before they reached it, a brown, naked boy burst out of the cover and ran away from them. The halloos and whistles of the boys' band doubled. Many of them heaved their weapons at Moloquin before they were near enough to have a chance of hitting him. And untouched, the woods orphan darted away into the high grass and suddenly vanished. Like the open-nesting bustards, he could disappear at will. Ladon's son, panting, led the others in a broad range across the slope where he had seen Moloquin last. They slowed to a walk, puzzled. Ladon's son poked with his stick at the ground, banged with his stick on a tuft of brambles, and looked up toward the forest looming above him to his right. The forest was